Hey all, Hipper here. So today we're checking out what some people call the floating citadel of sadness, and it's the Albermarle. So don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy the ship just as much as I do, because I really think this is a really fun ship to play. So I'm not going to dispute that this ship is in fact a floating citadel, but I'm going to dispute the sadness part, because this ship is probably one of the most difficult cruisers you can play at tier 7, and that's what I like. I like to have a quirky ship that gives me, you know, a little bit of extra difficulty here, and, you know, if you put an agile build on this ship here, you're going to have to wiggle your way out of all the problems you'll encounter. And this is one of my favorite maps, actually, Greece here, and I love getting the A spawn. After that, I love getting the B spawn. And the C spawn is just, that's the worst spawn to get, because it's so hard to grab that cap. I do love to get the A spawn here, because most players totally neglect this spawn here. And it's got something to do with the starting positions, I guess, because the players who are actually supposed to, you know, capture and guard the A cap, they pretty much start closer to the B cap, really. And, you know, when you look... it also, you know, says that, okay, as soon as the game starts, you can see the B cap and nothing else. So if you don't look around and you don't understand the map and stuff like that, you're just automatically going to go for the B cap, or, as most people do, turn around and do crazy other things. But if you get the A cap, I mean, you have the most important job in this game here, because securing this cap here is the key to victory. Because from this cap here, once you have it secured, which was very easy in this game here because no one else went for it, that means that from this cap you can also defend and also attack the B cap in relative safety. That's not the case from the C cap. Like, the C cap is very exposed, and getting that cap is usually pretty hard. In this game here, most of the reds are gathering in front of the B cap, which is the worst strategy in this map here, and it happens all the time. Because doing that, you're just going to get crossfired from A and C, as along with any ships that are at B. So it's like the worst thing you can possibly do. So I'm going to use this video here as a lesson in how to not play Greece. Because first of all, the red team didn't send anybody over here, so they just gave up this cap. And easily taken. So I have a destroyer over here to help me spot. And that's all I need. I can just sit here in complete safety and just wallop the red team. And as soon as they realize, like, hey, oh my god, we're getting shot at from, like, you know, pretty much every side here, that's when they start to rush into the B cap, which is what they should have done in the beginning. Because you need cover on this map. You can't sit out in the open sea, at least not for long, and at least not all ships, and at least not in the same two quadrants. I'm not saying that all battleships should move in, but... you know, you have to spread your ships out to get those sweet broadsides. And when everyone sits in the same two quadrants, like here on the red team, that's not going to happen, and you're just going to die a horrible death, really. And another thing I also see happening a lot is battleships, you know, deciding, okay, I'm going to push in, and then at the first whiff of incoming HE shells, or, you know, a spotted destroyer, they just totally change their mind, and in the middle of their rush, they decide to turn around and or whatever. Like, they decide to say, "Oh, I would rather go left instead of right," and they give up their whole initial plan, and that's almost always a bad idea. Like, if you have a plan, which is a rare thing in this game here, I realize that, but if you have a plan, you just stick with it. Like, for example, this Jean-Bar here, he's obviously, well, I'm assuming he has a plan of getting into the middle of the map. But at this first whiff of HE shells incoming, and he even dodged torpedoes there, he's thinking, oh no, I better turn around and show broadside to the whole blue team in the process. And giving up the cap that he had pretty much like a quarter secured. If he had continued into the middle of the map, I would be the only ship able to hit him. And obviously, if he was to aim at me, I would have to, you know, slide into cover here. And he might have been able to actually grab that cap there. But because he changed his mind, he chickened out in the final seconds. All that's going to happen to him now is he's going to get burned trying to escape. And that happens all the time. You know, panicking in a destroyer is one thing, because you can go unspotted relatively easy. Panicking his cruiser is also like a different thing, but panicking in a battleship, like that's a death sentence pretty much. And the same thing is going to happen to this New Jersey here, because he's moving in, and as soon as he starts taking damage, that's a lot of damage, I will grant you that, but still, turning around like this is just going to be the worst decision ever. He should have kept pushing up to the other side of this island where I am. That would mean that he's in relative, safety, and he's also keeping me from gaining tickets from this this cap here. Because as you can see, now this cap is the only cap we actually hold in the game, and I don't really know how that happened, because the Reds started out really, really bad. Their positioning was just horrible, and I thought, oh, this is going to be a 2-minute game, and somehow we lost 5 ships to a bunch of red ships congregating in the middle of the map. I don't know how that happened either, and something tells me that I don't want to know. So now this Chambard here, he has, recovered from his earlier misunderstanding, where he went into the B cap and realized that, hey, people are actually going to defend this cap here. So just shooting a little bit at him. And now the Edinburgh is going to make a move. I mean, that makes total sense, because we are so far in the game now that they have to make a move. They're 250 points behind, and if they don't do anything now, they're going to lose. And Albermarle versus Edinburgh. Edinburgh can't do anything to me, at least when I'm bow on, but I can do a lot of stuff to him with my larger caliber shells, and I also have high explosive shells. And here I'm just sticking to AP because I could see that he was going to turn again. So again, the A cap here, like I said, is so important because it's easily defended, and it's the cap that you are most likely, and that's a bad torp hit there. It's the cap that you are most likely to, keep hanging on to, even when everything else falls apart, just like in this game here. Because I specifically grabbed this cap here right off the bat. 1, because I spawned over here, and 2, because it's so important. Because this cap here is going to keep us gaining tickets now, while we still need to grab another cap to be sure to win. Because the Reds are gaining on us now, and they've sunk a lot of ships. And again, I don't really know how they did that, but they somehow managed to do that, despite positioning really, really badly there. And one thing I don't like about this map here is when I don't get the A cap, because it just makes it really hard to set your team up for success. It's the same when you play the Shards map, for example. If you don't get A or C, if you get B, then you never know what your team is going to do out on the crucial flanks on that map. And if you're not there to take at least one of the flanks, that's when you have like a much higher chance of losing on that map there. So, spawns are very important. And if you waste a good spawn by running away in a battleship, or, getting torped in the first minute of the battle in a destroyer or something, then the loss pretty much is on you, I'm afraid to say. So I saw a destroyer in here in B, and there's not many ships left, and the Nicer now can't reach me. And I have to, push this destroyer out, because as you can see, the Reds are gaining on us. They are only 20 points behind now, and obviously we cannot allow this guy here to grab the B cap. He did grab it, which is amazing. I don't know how this game was turned around that much, because in the beginning the Reds were just very poorly positioned, like I said. But anyway, I'm gonna keep all the Reds over on the right side. I already have a high caliber, so I'm done my fair share of damage in this game here, but I cannot really jump out of here until I have grabbed this cap here. The only reason I would expose myself, or expose my ship, not expose myself, well, it was to, in case if this set of 6 here decided to go back into the cap, then I would obviously have to take him on, because we cannot afford to lose tickets. But it's looking much better now, and I don't know what he's doing here. He wants to look at the island, so that's okay. And I don't know what I'm doing, but because I am not hitting him at all, and someone else gets the kill. But that's okay. The cap is more important here, and we're down to 1 enemy cruiser. So as long as I finish capping this cap here, we've won the game. It's fairly simple. And setting up a stronghold, or a base that's really hard to capture for the enemy, like I did with the A-cap. It's pretty much what I always do in every game, because it gives me a breather. And in some games, like the Reds just put all effort into grabbing that first base, because I'm usually the first ship spotted as well, so everyone runs to where I am for some reason. That helps as well, because then I keep like 6 or 7 ships busy over on my flank, while the rest of my team can grab the other 2 caps with ease. And so it always works. It always works well, and that's why it's such a problem when you don't get one of those good spawns, where you are much more relying on your team to actually grab that cap, and most people don't understand the significance, and they just give it up, or they just play, like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. You know how people tend to play this game here. So, anyway, with just 1 cruiser left here, we've won the game. And Albermarle, like, much depends on the map that you play this ship on. Like, if you play it on Atlantic, you're in for a tough time, just like if you play Hipper on Atlantic. But if you play Greece, Hotspot, or, any map with just a little bit of cover, and where you're able to actually cap while still staying in cover as a cruiser, then Albermarle is a real force to be reckoned with. And another map that's good is Shards as well, as I mentioned. But I don't see this ship out there enough. It's actually really good. You just cannot, tank incoming battleship shells, and just have to keep that in mind. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and I'll see you out there.